Hi everyone, it's Sean Caldwell here from Letters from a Tapehead, submitting another buys and receipt video. I have a pretty decent haul to go through this evening, especially since it's been a couple months since my last video. End of January, I took a trip with a buddy of mine to Siren Records in Doylestown. Pretty sure I talked about them before. Hit the used bins, did pretty well, so I can talk about some of that stuff. And then, a couple mail order things here and there, and a few 2018 releases. So, first thing I can talk about is, some people might find this interesting. So, this is the Whited Sepulchre by Axebreaker. So, for those who don't know, Terrence Hannum from the band Locrian, this is a side project of his. I've been a fan of that band for quite some time, and I do try to follow their side projects here and there. Terrence is 1/3 of that band, and pretty fascinating guy. I like a lot of what he does. This is just a kind of an interesting little point of interest. I don't even have a player for this, but it did come with a download, so I can't actually listen to it. So it's power electronics and noise. I'll warn you, it's not for everybody, but I think it's pretty cool. Last I checked, these were available in a series of 50, and I think there's still some available at the Axebreaker Bandcamp site, and I can leave a link at the bottom of the video. It's released through Anathemata Editions, and I always have to remember that because I used to think it was Anathema. So that's a 2018 release, actually. As far as the used records, I can start with this Ultravox single for Passing Strangers. This was released in '81 by Chrysalis Records. What I didn't expect is that it's clear vinyl. Pretty cool. And it sounds really good, considering how old it is. Pretty sure it's OG. Once again, because, I read Simon Reynolds' Rip It Up and Start Again, for those who don't know. I'm continually trying to find post-punk records and, basically things that I read about that I didn't really listen to. So Ultravox has been one of those things that I've been getting more and more familiar with as I go to the record store. It's a pretty cool little single. It's a nice little single. The other thing I got, so this is Magazine's Magic Murder. I always forget the title. Magic Murder and the Weather. This was their fourth and final release till they reformed in 2009. The comeback record was Know Thyself. Came out, I want to say 2011. I reviewed it actually for No Ripcord. I thought it was pretty cool. This was mixed by Martin Hannett, but I know it's not one of their more, I guess, celebrated releases. For that, you'd go Real Life for the Correct Use of Soap. I actually dug this, so I don't know. I thought it was a nice little find. This was another interesting one. So I'm still trying to get a lot of Tangerine Dream stuff. I'm never going to acquire their entire discography. I think I'd go broke before that would happen. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. This, I gotta admit, I didn't know this movie existed. It's a William Friedkin film, and Roy Scheider's in it. Had no idea. What is interesting, though, is this is actually the first film score that Tangerine Dream did. And it's pretty cool. Nice ominous drones, the whole, all the synths. It's a pretty cool album. I've been trying to build up more of like horror soundtracks and stuff like that, so it's been kind of cool to venture into that. This was another little interesting thing. So this is Die Kreuzen. This is the Cement record. This came out in '91, and is kind of a precursor to the alternative rock explosion. Butch Vig actually recorded this. This is not not the hardcore stuff. It's definitely much more melodic, but you know, it's pretty cool. I want to give this a listen. And for its time, I mean, you know, it fits in nice with the era. Butch Vig is a very clean producer, though. It's actually remarkable how kind of it's a little too sterile, I will say, from a production standpoint. But yeah, no, the tunes are good. The other thing I got, McCartney 2. Temporary Secretary and Coming Up. That's pretty much why. So, you know, judge all you want. I mean, I still like Paul McCartney. And this was also pretty interesting. So, U.S. Girls, Megan Remy. This is the first U.S. Girls album. Came out in 2008 on Silt Breeze Records. And the only reason I know that label is because of Sick Alps. My dearly departed Sick Alps. This is a bedroom record. Everything is pretty DIY for Silt Breeze. But it's a complete package. It was actually a really good find. There is one Bruce Springsteen cover on this album. This is not in any way, shape, or form. It's not going to sound like this, which is the latest U.S. Girls in a Poem Unlimited album, which it's one of my favorites so far of the year. I really like this album. But the grooves, the dance, the disco, and all that stuff, you are not going to find that on the debut. It's actually kind of remarkable how far Meg Remy has come in the 10 years since this came out. I actually got to see Meg Remy open up for Me on Me in 2010, and it was just her and a keyboard doing mostly this stuff. So if you're interested in that evolution, it's pretty remarkable. Okay, so the Jesus Lizard, Pure, first EP by the Jesus Lizard. This is before an actual drummer. This is the Drum Machine album. It's only 5 songs. 5 songs? Sorry. Yes. Yeah, I'm right. 5 songs. This is part of the big reissue campaign that Touch and Go put out in 2009. I actually got to review every single one of them, but I had digital copies to go by, so I've been slowly trying to build up my Jesus Lizard library with the 2009 remasters, because they do really sound good. So I found that one and mail ordered it. Sounds good. You really cannot go wrong with the Jesus Lizard. Okay, so if I may geek out hardcore right now. Goblin, the Dawn of the Dead soundtrack. Waxwork Records. Serendipity helped me out here. This came out the day I got paid. I pulled the trigger immediately. And it's good I did, because unfortunately, it's all sold out. But if I can geek out for just a second and sort of luxuriate in this package, we get beautifully illustrated gatefold. Along with there we go. Pretty cool insert. And the records themselves, it's blue-green vinyl. Pretty, right? Pretty cool. I did give this a listen. It sounds great. It's a fantastic film score and soundtrack. It's just so good, and it was definitely worth checking out. I'm glad I got it, but, you know, I am sorry to say it is very sold out, and the flippers are having a field day with those prices, unfortunately. You know, maybe someone can luck out on Discogs, but people want their money, so unfortunately, yeah. But yeah, pretty cool, right? Yeah. So I got a couple of Castle Face releases. First thing I got was this. It's a Dead Medic. It's the 2-inch, or no, sorry, it's 2-song 12-inch single. This was built from the sessions that generated their last album, Orc, which was awesome. If you get a chance to check out Orc is awesome. As far as these tracks, I'm glad they didn't make it to Orc. On their own, they're an interesting listen, but they're not. They would not have enhanced that record at all. I'm glad they weren't included. But anyway, this is the second pressing, and this is the copper cover variant. I was late in pulling the trigger, so I did not get the color variant, the new color variant. But I checked, and this is still available. So for any OCs fans out there, as a point of interest, you know, it's worth checking out, but it's not. I wouldn't call it essential. This was another little point of interest. This is 2017 release, actually. OCS, Memories of a Cut Off Head. That's what it is, right? Memory of a Cut Off Head. Potato, potato. I managed to pick up this is the Pink Smoke variant. It's a double LP, not a gatefold. So they're both in there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool dust jacket. And yeah, like I said, Pink Smoke color variant. I actually, once again, I checked this out too. There's still some of these available. This I would recommend. It's a pretty cool album. I only have one other OCS album, or I should say CD. I picked it up years ago at Music on Main in Manayunk. It's this one, Volume 3, Volume 4. Volume 3 is Songs About Death and Dying. Volume 4 may be called Get Stoved. It's you know, it's very early John Dwyer stuff. It's like super lo-fi, folky, sort of weird. I didn't listen to it much. In fact, I prefer what he's doing now. But, you know, it's still kind of cool. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the new Sleep album. Their first album in 15 years. Sleep with the Sciences. I ordered this directly from Third Man. Got the green translucent copy. I haven't had a chance to listen to all of it yet. There you go. But what I've heard so far is pretty awesome. A little cleaner than I expected, though. I'm kind of used to them being a little more muddy. But I don't know. I'm really digging it. So, hoping to spend some time with that soon. But anyway, that's it. That's all I got for the time being. I'm hoping to hit the store soon because I haven't been to a record store in a couple months. So we'll see what happens. Father's Day's coming up, right? Like a month or so. Maybe I can get a trip out of it. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will have some links for everything I discussed, along with my website, which is lettersfromaTapehead.com. There are hyphens in there. Apologies. If you want to read anything, I do try to post. I haven't been as regular as I want to be, but I'm trying to fix that. Otherwise, I do have also a Twitter and a Instagram feed. I usually keep them up pretty decently. So things I don't cover in the blog, I might throw up some info on the Twitter. Anyway, if you're digging what I'm putting out there, please feel free to like and subscribe. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you're having a good night, and take care. Till next time.